Brother, ever thought about this? We spend our lives dodging pain, but the moments that break us down are often what forge the man we're meant to be. Right now, as you watch this, you might be grappling with something that feels unbearable. Maybe you're sitting in your truck after a grueling day, completely drained. Perhaps it's 2 a.m. and you're lying awake, wondering why everything's falling apart so fast. Or maybe you're just exhausted, tired of pretending you're okay when you're not. Tired of carrying a mask too heavy to bear. Here's the game changer. My friend, while most see their darkest days as proof life's against them, the ancient Stoics knew something profound. Your greatest pain often becomes your wisest teacher. The struggles you want to escape are guiding you toward true strength. Marcus Aurelius, a man who led an empire yet faced personal tragedies that could crush anyone, wrote in his journal, "The mind that seeks the good, whether it finds it or not, is honored by the pursuit itself." He didn't write for fame, but to remind himself that even in loss, heartbreak, or chaos, there's dignity in striving for what's right. Let me be straight with you. This video might hit you hard, maybe even bring tears. And I'm not sorry for that. Sometimes, you need to feel the weight of your own resilience. You've made it through every tough day so far, and that's no small feat. It's extraordinary. We live in a world that tells us to avoid discomfort at all costs. Scroll past anything that makes you feel. Buy stuff to fill the void. Numb the pain with distractions. But what if the thing you're running from is the doorway to who you're meant to be? The Stoics didn't have smartphones to hide behind. They faced their pain head-on. When Marcus lost his son, when Epictetus endured slavery and torture, when Seneca faced exile and death, they had to confront themselves. In that raw honesty, they found what we've forgotten. Pain isn't your enemy. Your challenges aren't signs of weakness. They're the raw materials of your transformation. Right now, someone's fighting a battle no one knows about. Someone's grieving a life-changing loss. Someone's facing fear bigger than their courage. I'm here to tell you what the Stoics knew. You've got what it takes. Not because you're a superhero, but because you're human. This isn't about thinking positive or pretending nothing's wrong. It's about learning to dance with hardship, finding meaning in the mess, and realizing the things that break your heart might be expanding it to hold more love, wisdom, and compassion than you ever imagined. So, here's what I need you to do now. If this resonates, hit that like button, not for me, but as a promise to yourself that you're ready to face hard truths. Drop a comment and share what battle you're fighting with grit. Share this video with someone who needs to remember their own strength. Subscribe to this channel, because we're building a brotherhood of men who choose growth over comfort. Don't skip any part of this video. Every word is crafted for someone who needs to hear it. And that someone might be you. The points ahead aren't just ideas. They're a call to see life differently, to uncover strength you didn't know you had, and to realize your sensitivity, your struggles, your human heart aren't weaknesses to overcome. They're the raw power waiting to be unleashed. Leave a comment declaring this and stand tall. My pain is forging my strength. Let me share a story about the day that changed my life. It might help you see why your worst day could be your greatest gift. It was a Tuesday. Isn't it always a Tuesday when life decides to teach you something you're not ready for? I woke up thinking it was just another day. By nightfall, everything I thought I knew about myself, my relationships, my future, it all crumbled. You know that feeling when the ground vanishes beneath you, when the story you told yourself about your life stops making sense? That's where I was. Maybe you're there now. Here's what the Stoics knew that we forget. Your worst days aren't punishment, they're revelation. Epictetus, who knew dark days better than most, taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. He said this not from privilege, but as a man who was enslaved, beaten, and stripped of what society calls worth. From that depth of pain, he found something profound. When everything external is stripped away, what's left is the real you. Your worst day doesn't define you, it reveals you. It shows what you're made of when all else fades. That night, I sat in my truck, crying like I hadn't in years. Not the cinematic tears you see in movies, but the raw, soul-shaking kind that strip you bare. In that moment of collapse, something shifted. I stopped asking why this was happening to me and started asking what I was meant to learn from it. That question changed everything, turning me from a victim into a student of my own life. The pain didn't vanish, but it became fuel for purpose. The fear didn't disappear, but it turned into courage I didn't know I had. Your worst day is trying to show you something about your resilience that no easy day could teach. It reveals a strength, comfort, can't uncover. Every man you admire, every story that moves you, every hero you look up to, they all share one thing. They've had days when everything fell apart, and they chose the path you're being called to now, to let the breaking become a breakthrough. The gift in your worst day isn't always clear at first. It's wrapped in confusion, tied with ribbons of grief, and shows up at the worst possible time. But inside that brutal gift is everything you need to become the man you're meant to be. Inside is compassion for others who are struggling. Inside is the strength for challenges you can't yet imagine. Inside is the wisdom earned only through trials by fire, proving you're not burned but refined. Your worst day isn't the end of your story, it's the start of a stronger chapter. Not because life gets easier, but because you grow tougher, wiser, kinder, and truer. If you're ready to let your hardest moments shape you, leave this comment. My worst day revealed the best version of me. Point 2. Why your sensitivity is your hidden strength. They've told you that you feel too much, haven't they? Too emotional, too intense. Maybe they said it with concern, maybe with frustration, but the message was clear. Feeling deeply is somehow wrong in a world that seems to reward emotional numbness. Here's what I wish someone had told you sooner. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw to fix. It's a strength you've been taught to hide. Seneca, one of Rome's greatest thinkers, wrote letters to his friend with such raw honesty and vulnerability that even 2,000 years later, they can move a man to tears. He said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. But what's powerful about those words, he wrote them not as a cold philosopher, but as a man who knew grief and loss deeply. The Stoics weren't emotionless robots, as some believe. They were men of profound emotional intelligence. They felt everything but learned to channel those feelings without being crushed. There's a difference between feeling deeply and being overwhelmed by it. Your sensitivity lets you experience life in vivid color, while others see in black and white. You know what your sensitivity really is? It's the ability to notice what others miss. When someone's hurting, you feel it in your gut. When something's beautiful, it brings you to tears. When something's wrong, Your body knows before your mind catches up. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom you can't learn from books. Your emotions aren't random noise. They're signals, your inner compass, guiding you toward what matters. When you're uneasy about a relationship, it's not paranoia, it's your instincts picking up on truths your mind hasn't yet processed. When you're fired up about a chance others call crazy, it's not naivety, it's your gut seeing potential others overlook. The world needs men who feel deeply. We need those who care so much it hurts, because that care drives change. We need men who see the struggle behind a smile, men who feel a sunset's beauty so deeply they pause to honor it, men who sense injustice in their bones and are compelled to act. Your tears aren't a sign of frailty, they're proof you're fully alive. Your strong emotions aren't a problem to solve, they're a gift to embrace. Feeling others' pain isn't a burden, it's compassion in action. Don't apologize for feeling deeply. Don't try to numb what makes you human. Don't buy the lie that strength means feeling less. True strength is feeling it all and still showing up, still caring, still choosing to love despite fear, still believing in good despite a world that gives you reasons to doubt. Your sensitivity is your secret weapon, because it lets you connect with others in ways shallow interactions never could. It fuels your ability to create, to love, to inspire, and to heal, not despite your deep feelings, but because of them. If you agree your sensitivity is your strength, leave this comment. My sensitivity is my power, not my weakness. Point 3. The art of losing everything and rediscovering who you are. Every man faces a moment when everything he thought he needed is taken away. Maybe it's a job, a relationship, a dream, or someone you loved deeply. I want to talk about that moment, because if you haven't faced it yet, you will. And if you're in it now, know this: you're not falling apart. You're being guided to where you belong. Marcus Aurelius, who knew loss intimately, wrote, "Loss is nothing but change, and change is nature's delight." Those words are easy to read, but living them is a harder road. He wrote as a father who lost a child, as a leader watching his empire falter, as a man betrayed in ways that could break anyone. Yet he found something profound in loss. When everything external is stripped away, what remains is your unshakable core. There's something both brutal and beautiful about losing what you thought defined you. It's brutal because the pain cuts deeper than you can imagine. It's beautiful because it forces you to confront the man beneath the titles, roles, possessions, and relationships that were never truly yours. You remember the day you lost something you thought was your entire identity. The career you built over decades, the relationship you thought would last forever, the future you planned down to the last detail, all gone in a moment. You sat in an empty house, surrounded by boxes, feeling like a stranger in your own life. But here's what they don't tell you about rock bottom: it's solid ground. You can build from there. When you've got nothing left to lose, you've got everything to gain. When your old plans fail, you're forced to find a new path. When your old identity crumbles, you get to choose who you'll become next. The art of losing everything isn't just about letting go gracefully, though that comes with time. It's about seeing loss as liberation. Every ending is a space for a new beginning. Every closed door guides you to the one meant for you. Every person who leaves makes room for those who truly belong. Loss isn't punishment for your mistakes. It's not proof you're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough. It's the universe recalibrating, knowing what you truly need better than you do. It's an invitation to stop controlling outcomes and start trusting the process. Picture a tree in winter, bare branches against a grey sky. No leaves, no sign of life. But beneath the surface, in its roots, its core, life is still at work. That tree is gathering strength for spring. It's not dead. It's preparing to bloom. That's you right now. If you're in a season of loss, you may feel empty, exposed, broken, but beneath it all, you're building strength for what's next. You're growing roots deeper than anything you've had before. You're preparing for a version of yourself you can't yet envision. The art of losing everything is about rediscovering the man you truly are, not the one you thought you had to be, but the one who knows his worth comes from within. Not the man who breaks when life shifts, but the one who bends and grows stronger. Point 4. The beautiful truth about your shattered dreams. Right now, someone watching this is mourning a dream that didn't come true. Maybe a business that failed, a relationship that ended, a career that stalled, or a life plan derailed by forces beyond your control. You're sitting there, wondering if you're a failure, if you should have tried harder, if you're doomed to never get what you truly want. Let me tell you something that might sound crazy at first. Your broken dreams aren't failures, they're redirections to something greater than you imagined. Epictetus taught us something revolutionary. Don't demand things happen as you wish. Instead, wish them to happen as they do. He wasn't preaching passive acceptance. He meant that clinging to one outcome blinds you to better possibilities waiting to unfold. Picture a man who poured 3 years into a dream, sacrificing every waking moment. He gave up relationships, health, sleep, and joy, all for a vision of success. Then it crumbled. He felt he'd wasted the best years of his life on something that was never his. He was angry at the world, at himself, at everyone who seemed to be living their dreams while his lay in ruins. But here's what he didn't see in that pain. That broken dream was clearing the way for a new path. It was preparing him for something different, something more meaningful. The skills he honed, the man he became, the resilience he built, none of it was wasted. It was all groundwork for a life he couldn't have planned, but one that fits the man he's growing into. A broken dream doesn't mean you're not enough. It means you're being called to something that aligns with your true self. Sometimes, you have to let go of dreams that were never truly yours to make room for the ones that are. Think of it like a river hitting a rock. It doesn't see it as failure. It flows around, carving a new path that's often more beautiful than the old one. That rock doesn't stop the river. It shapes a richer journey. Your broken dreams are teaching you things success never could. They show your worth isn't tied to achievements. They reveal strengths you didn't know you had. They forge a wisdom only a wounded heart can carry. Maybe that ended relationship saved you from settling for a love you deserved better than. Maybe that job you didn't get is leading you to work that feeds your soul. Maybe that dream you thought was everything was too small for the man you're becoming. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. I'm not telling you to skip the grief. Feel that loss deeply. It's part of being human. But don't let that pain convince you you're unworthy of good things. Don't let one closed door make you think every door is locked. Your broken dreams are fertile ground for new ones to grow, dreams that fit the man you are now. Dreams that honor the strength you've earned through every fall and rise. Dreams you couldn't see while clinging to the old ones. Trust the process. Even if you can't see the destination, believe that life is working for you, not against you. Believe that what feels like an ending might be the most important beginning you'll ever know. If you're ready to believe your broken dreams are leading to better ones, leave this comment. My broken dreams are paving the way for something greater. Point 5. Why your struggle is sacred. I need to tell you something that could change how you see every tough moment in your life. Your struggle isn't a glitch in the system, it's a feature. It's not something wrong, it's something unfolding exactly as it should, in ways you didn't expect. We live in a culture that treats struggle like a disease, to be cured fast, pop a pill, buy a fix, think positive, manifest it all away. But what if the thing you're trying to escape is the most sacred part of being human? The Stoics had a beautiful idea called amor fati, love your fate. Not just accept it, not just endure it, but embrace it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, accept what fate binds you to, and love those it brings you. He meant your struggles aren't random punishments, they're teachers placed exactly where you need them. I once sat with a friend going through a divorce after 20 years. He kept apologizing for his tears, beating himself up for not being strong enough, torturing himself for not moving on faster. It hit me how we've been taught to feel ashamed of our struggles instead of honoring them. Your struggle is sacred because it shapes you into a man you couldn't become any other way. The anxiety you carry teaches you empathy for others fighting silent battles. The weight of depression deepens your capacity for joy that easy times can't touch. The loss that broke your heart is expanding it to hold more love than you ever imagined. Every man who's made a real difference, every mentor, healer, artist, leader, innovator shares one thing: they've struggled. They've faced moments they wanted to quit. They've doubted their strength, their smarts, their worth. And they learned their struggle wasn't weakness, it was proof of their capacity. You can't comfort someone in their darkest night if you haven't known your own. You can't guide someone through pain if you haven't lost something precious. You can't inspire someone to keep going if you haven't felt like giving up yourself. Your struggle grants you wisdom. No university can teach a degree, no book can confer. What makes it sacred is your choice in its meaning. You can let it make you bitter or make you wiser. You can let it close your heart or open it to deeper compassion. You can let it convince you life's unfair or teach you that hardship binds us all, making human connection so damn beautiful. Your struggle is sacred because it's not permanent. It's always shifting, always molding you into someone new. The man who enters the fight isn't the one who'll walk out. That transformation is the sacred part. You're becoming a remarkable man right now. A man who's walked through fire and sees it as purification, not destruction. A man who's faced his deepest fears and found he's stronger than he knew. A man who's been hurt, but lets those cracks be where light shines through. Your struggle is sacred because it's yours. It's crafted by the universe, which trusts you can handle it. Not easily, not without scars or tears, but with ultimate victory. Point 6. The courage to start over. There's a moment we all face, maybe more than once, when we realize we must begin again, not because you failed or gave up, but because you've outgrown the man you were, and the life built for him no longer fits. Starting over at 25 feels like an adventure. At 35, it's daunting. At 45, it seems impossible. At any age, when you thought you had it all figured out, it takes a rare kind of grit. Seneca, who lost wealth, status, and eventually His life knew this courage well. He wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." He didn't mean just living longer, but living fuller. Even if it means starting fresh when staying comfortable would be easier. Imagine a man in his 52nd walking away from a successful law career to teach to many. That's madness. Why ditch financial security and prestige to start from scratch? But for him, it wasn't fleeing failure. It was answering a deeper call to work that reignited his passion. Teaching kids brought back a spark buried for years. It reminded him why he once loved learning. That clarity made the leap worth it. Starting over isn't erasing your past. It's weaving every lesson, every skill, into the man you're becoming. The courage to start over is about trusting yourself more than others' opinions. It's choosing growth over safety, possibility over certainty, authenticity over conformity. It's saying, "I don't know what's next, but I know I can't stay stuck here." Maybe you're there now, knowing you need a fresh start. Maybe it's a relationship that's been dead for years, but you fear being alone. Maybe it's a job that pays the bills but drains your soul. Maybe it's the version of you everyone expects, but it feels like a suit that no longer fits. Here's what I want you to know. Starting over isn't quitting, it's growing. It's the difference between settling for what is and building what could be. It's the difference between surviving life and truly living it. The world needs men brave enough to begin again. You show us it's possible to break free from past choices, mistakes, or others' expectations. You prove life is a series of new beginnings, not a long middle with a disappointing end. Starting over means keeping the best of your past while letting go of what no longer serves you. You hold on to the wisdom and release the regret. You honor the man you were while embracing the man you're becoming. Yes, it's terrifying. Yes, others might not get it. Yes, you might stumble, struggle, or question your choice. But here's what's scarier: reaching the end of your life and realizing you never had the guts to chase the life you truly wanted. The man you'll become is counting on the man you are now to be brave enough to start anew. Choose possibility over predictability. Trust you're strong enough to build something extraordinary, even with just your bare hands and an open heart. If this message hits home, it's because something in you knows it's meant for you, not because your life's harder, but because you're ready to see struggle differently. You're ready to stop running from pain and start learning from it. You're ready to stop apologizing for feeling deeply and start using that sensitivity as your strength. The Stoics knew what we often forget. We're not victims of circumstance, we're students of our own lives. Every challenge is a lesson tailored for you. Every loss is space for something better. Every ending is a beginning in disguise. The tears you shed watching this aren't weakness, they're awareness. Your soul is recognizing its own power. Your heart is recalling its resilience. Your spirit is waking to its inner strength. You came into this world with everything you need to face any challenge, not easily, not without scars or doubts, but with the certainty of triumph. Your struggles aren't proof something's wrong with you, they're evidence you're alive. You care. You're growing into an extraordinary man. As Epictetus said, you're an actor in a play, scripted by a greater author. Your role might involve struggle, heartbreak, starting over, feeling deeply, or losing what you love, but it's your role, and only you can play it. The world needs what you've got. It needs your sensitivity, your struggles, your story of breaking and rising again. It needs proof that a man can survive his worst day and still choose to love, to hope, to believe in beauty. So, here's what I need you to do right now. If this video struck a chord, hit the like button as a vow to yourself to stop seeing struggle as a problem and start seeing it as preparation. Leave a comment to tell someone they're not alone. Share this with someone whose heart needs these words. And subscribe to join a community of men who see hardship as a gateway to who they're meant to be. You're not broken. You're breaking through.